the ESPN and WWE deal, where they're moving their premium live events to ESPN. They basically said that they have signed a. Damn, do we know how much it was? I thought I had it in. Okay, Disney Plus will pay an average of $325 million per year for 5 years for the U.S. rights of WWE's biggest pay-per-views, including WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, beginning in 2026, according to people familiar with the matter who declined to be naming about these deal specifics. Their Peacock deal is up in 2026. They will just be getting the new shows. The archive is not mentioned. The archive looks like it's going to live on YouTube until they decide to probably make all of those into whatever the fuck. WWE gets money again. And people are going to have to pay $30 a month to access this on ESPN Plus if it is not a part of their cable package already. It's what all these 5 and 6 match pay-per-views were all leading to, the devaluing of this shit. And now they're gonna raise the price of the brick. The price of the brick is going up, James. And $30 a month for the WWE pay-per-views, not in this house.
Yeah.
And
so it starts the beginning of next year, right?
The partnership of ESPN and WWE, they are coming together, locking up.
Yeah.
Scissoring.
Yeah, so ESPN's been making some moves. Like ESPN is also now 10% owned by the NFL. And now the Red Zone channel will be hosted by ESPN. And it's like these merger type things and these like synergistic deals or whatever else. Remember guys, ESPN is supposed to be a sports news coverage channel, right? Like its flagship show for most of its history was SportsCenter, which covered the highlights of games and the news of sports. Like it also like had tons of programming about intersection of real life things with athletes. And over the years, over the past decade or so, that stuff's been gutted. Sports reporters get the fuck out. Outside the lines get the fuck out. They ran that one soap opera or primetime soap opera show about that covered topics that the NFL had going on, right? And they got rid of it. I think it was called Playmakers. Was it Playmakers they got rid of it? Yeah, that kind of shit. That's all. It's been going on for 20 years leading up to this point. And now it's like, the online gambling shit aspect, the sports gambling aspect. Now we're full on just like forget us. Not covering you the way we should cover you because we pay you X amount of money to be our media partner. Now it's like flat out, no. You own part of us now. You officially own part of us. And that's the NFL. And now with this part, like WWE getting in bed with them, it's like, okay.
They had Triple H on. Was interviewing them. Didn't ask some shit real.
Who was?
They had Triple H on ESPN. They had Roman Reigns on ESPN.
And did they ask either one about Brock Lesnar?
Fuck. Or actually, they did ask about Brock Lesnar, but the answer Triple H gave was pretty much in the context of, we told Brock it's time to come home. So he's passing the buck back and forth. Before he said it's Cena's fault. Look, come on, man. Y'all niggas all working in unison. Brock does what he wants, all that shit.
And when he said it's time to come home, no one pressed him on the part where it's like, yeah, why was he gone?
You would think. That would be, what was he up to?
And that's what we mean as far as the erosion of integrity when it comes to, like, journalism. Like, it's one thing when it's pro wrestling journalism or whatever else, and, like, people don't think this shit, thinks the fucking carny business, so people don't really give a fuck about that, whatever. There's another thing when it's like, nah, man, these are some of the most, like, visible figures, like, in media. Like, when it's NFL, when it's, top stars of WWE even. these people are celebrities.
They're giving them
And
$1.6 billion. I think we can demand that they be treated with some level of seriousness rather than it's the fucking goofy pro wrestling. It's like,
these are stuntmen.
Who's gonna do it? That's
not them.
Yeah,
it's not gonna be them.
That's why it's gonna leave a space for independent media to be able to hold people accountable, their feet to the fire, to raise the conversation when they won't, and to basically draw their fans to come amplify. That's the word of the day. Amplify their responses to this, and then they have their own state media through whatever ESPN is going to turn into. We know what the Ringer is already. We know what Busted Open Radio and the 24/7 stuff like that. That is the next level of the legit.
We know what they're doing as far. We know what we're doing as far as them like hitting them with the old classic stuff. These hit with like the dirt sheet riders. Hey, come through. We got you some media passes. Now it's like, hey, influencer X, Y, and Z. Joe Budden, 520. Come through to WrestleMania. Your tickets are comped.
They're buying
and what do
all
you
the
do in
credibility.
return? Just say, hey, I used to watch wrestling. I enjoyed the wrestling they doing now. They both of them, look, it's funny because like they were in 520 was in town because them niggas went to WrestleMania and Budden went to WrestleMania.
Or SummerSlam, yeah.
I'm saying, yeah, I mean SummerSlam. Sorry.
And,
yeah, like it's
talk about it on your show.
This is the game.
This is what they're doing. Like, and it's like, I'm not saying it's all a bad thing, but they're clearly like it's a multi-pronged attack. Some stuff they're trying to use influencers, which I feel like is fair game, right? It's fair game with the influencers and stuff like that.
Logan Speed, yeah.
But
streamers,
the people like when you're basically like turning these media outlets into it, like that stuff with the Busted Open,
legitimate media is the line. Is the that's the real line of distinction.
That is out of line. Like that is where this whole thing turns to. Oh, this is all a propaganda arm. Like that's all this is.
Yeah.
Because they're selling it to you under the guise of, oh, it's legitimate. Come discuss pro wrestling and stuff like that. But there's clearly a thing here or whatever. So
yeah,
if any other company doesn't want to get rolled over, they need to fight back. I just don't know how you do it without looking as bad as them. I guess don't break the law, I guess. Or don't forsake your morality. Well, how about that? To loop that around. And, we always talk about it, James, how it's always going to be two labels. There's going to be other media conglomerates, that are on the other side of this or whatever, because they're going to see pro wrestling and realize they can't get WWE. So naturally it's going to fall to AEW. So the business is going to go up but not necessarily in a way that it feels like, all right, the wrestlers are causing this. This stuff is coming through mergers and business and all the nasty kind of boring stuff, but also like that's not above board. Like it's not gonna feel like a result of the wrestlers, which fucking sucks. I think if we honestly evaluate it, it's like, does it matter who the champion is? No. Does it matter who's necessarily booked like at the top of a show for a quarter hour? Like maybe, but like not really. They can just put whoever they want in these spots. So I don't know, man. I think it's gonna cause a lot of people. I don't think it's gonna hit them for a while of what wrestling is gonna turn into, but it is not. At least if you think about this in a way that we do, which I probably realize we're in the minority on this, because most, people are just going to show up to the shows, mindlessly kind of think about it, whatever. They're just watching, the wrestling and stuff like that. But when I see it, it's like, this is not like this is the end of the simulation, like of. Like, oh, this is where it was all leading to, like the national expansion, the cable stuff. Like this is a business not necessarily controlled by the wrestlers, but controlled by the media conglomerates, and then you get what you get out of it.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same reason for like people talk about the slippery slope fallacy, and there's definitely elements of that for being too overcautious and whatever else. But it's like, a logical breakdown of this like, I'll give you another example, right? Why did we not do gambling in sports? Why were they not letting people gamble on sports? For the ethics involved in that. Because, like, once you start doing legal gambling in sports, then eventually at some point it's going to trickle down to the players or the refs, and then they start fucking with the games. And now we got a new nigga every 2 months found to be gambling on these games, NFL and NBA. Well, when you have news outlets, news desks now literally in bed with companies that have to cover, what do you think is going to happen? It's a conflict of interest. It's always going to be there. And it's only going to get worse as more and more money gets mixed in between these parties. So, yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's a good place to leave it.